Okay, so moving on now to what is arguably the best immigration status in Hong Kong, if you're looking to work specifically, and that is a dependent visa. Now, to get a dependent visa in Hong Kong, you need to be heterosexual, lawfully married to a partner who is a resident of Hong Kong and who's in a position to be able to sponsor your permissions as a dependent. And your sponsor in this application needs to demonstrate to the immigration department satisfaction that he or she can put a roof over your head and can put food on your table. And if a legal marriage is in place and those conditions are satisfied, then you will get a dependent visa. You get a dependent visa for for 1 year initially, and then you go on to 3 years and 3 years thereafter. Now, the dependent visa is a great immigration status if you can get one, because essentially it means that there are no conditions appended to your permissions here. You can join in a business, you can join in a business, you can establish a company, you can take up employment, part-time, full-time. Essentially you can engage in any activity in Hong Kong so long as it's lawful under these permissions. And slightly ironic that if you get a dependent visa, your sponsoring partner has got limitations if they are not permanent residents, that is. They've got limitations as to what they can do in Hong Kong. So if your sponsoring partner, that is your husband or your wife, has an employment visa, those employment visa permissions allow that partner to only work for that particular employer and that particular employer alone. Whereas the accompanying dependent visa holder has got carte blanche to be able to do whatever he or she wishes. So that's the good news if you're heterosexual and you're legally married. If you're same-sex partners, unfortunately, you don't qualify. The immigration department don't avail dependent visas to same-sex partners, whether they're legally married in other jurisdictions or not. And to the extent that there may be a civil partnership, the immigration department will allow credit to accrue to a legal marriage between same-sex partners in another jurisdiction, and also a civil partnership in another jurisdiction to speak to the genuine nature of the relationship, but it will not lead to the grant of a dependent visa under existing policy. There might be some changes that are long overdue in the next, well, they're not too distant future. But in the circumstances where same-sex partners are looking for visa permissions to be able to live and work in Hong Kong, work will not be allowed. All that you can get is what I've called the slippers and pipe visa. And that's a prolonged visitor visa, so it's the same immigration status that you get at the airport or at the boundary when you present yourself for admission as a visitor. Granted in 6-month chunks, and those chunks are extended when they come up for expiry. But all the conditions that the immigration department are looking for in relation to dependent visa, that is roof overhead, food on table, also apply to these prolonged visitor visa applications. A prolonged visitor visa application is an out-of-policy application, and it's the immigration department's present response to the possibility of separating non-traditional family members that want to be together, where one of them is qualified for a residence visa permission but the trailing partner doesn't for one reason or another. To separate families would be inequitable in those circumstances. So a dependent visa can't be granted, but they give a prolonged visitor visa. Not a satisfactory state of affairs, but that's the way that it is, alas. And the same conditions apply also to heterosexual partners who are not married. So in that regard, if you're a same-sex partner or you're a heterosexual partner that are free to marry but choose not to, where there is no legal marriage in place, then the prolonged visitor visa is the maximum immigration status that you can get under that scenario. And there are two problems with the prolonged visitor visa. Firstly, it doesn't give you the privilege to work. Secondly, it doesn't get your Hong Kong identity card either, because you only get it for 6 months at a time. So that's the dependent visa. But if you can get one, you're home and hosed.